Hello there, this is Mr. Dunaway. I want to make a quick video for you to show you one of my favorite things to do in Adobe Fireworks. So to get started, go to your the bottom icon in the bottom left and go to Adobe Fireworks and click that and allow that program to open and hit pause if you need to. It takes just a minute because it's a large program. To save some time, I already did that. So your computer's going to spin around for a little bit and then it's going to come up to hopefully a screen that looks like this. This square in the middle might or might not be there. What we're going to do is we're going to bring in an existing image that I have saved for you. And then, like I said, I will show you one of my favorite tricks that hopefully you enjoy it like I do as well. What you have to do is when it's open, go up to File, and you want to go to Open. Because what we're going to do is we are going to go find an image. We're going to open an image in Adobe Fireworks. Then go down to, you should have a screen hopefully like this. You want to go to this PC. If you don't see it on there, you can also click on the arrow by this menu and go to this PC as well. So you should see this PC in that bar right there, and you might have to scroll. It might not look exactly like mine. It's there because I've already done this. But you want to go to Doc Share O, double click, and then you get CST, and you're going to double click on that folder. And you're going to go down, you're going to find my name, Dunaway, double click. And then you're going to go to Computers 6th Grade Intro. Double click that. And here you have two folders called Fireworks and PowerPoint. You want the Fireworks folder. All right, now these are some different images that we could do things with. We are going to use that first one there that's called Bay. Double click on Bay, and then you should get an image like that that eventually will appear. So you now have this photo. It'll say right here, if you see where my mouse is, where it says Bay, that's the image. If you hit that X right there, we're not going to, but that would make it go away. We don't want to do that. We want to have some fun with Photoshop. One thing I talked to a few people yesterday is it's really important to understand this left bar over here that starts out with the word select. That is basically, that bar is what you are doing with your mouse currently. So if you see right here, I have the pointer tool chosen. If I clicked on something else, it's going to make my cursor do that one. For example, if I clicked on this one, the text tool, I would be able to type some text over my image if I wanted to. If you did yesterday's lesson on this vector one, if you click on that and you hold down the corner, you have all of these different shapes that you could insert on top of the image if you wanted to. When I click off of that, notice that it's still on the last thing I clicked. So I probably need to go back to my pointer tool if I wanted to select my image. Okay, that's just really important to understand. If it's doing something weird, look over here and figure out what is selected and what you want to select. Anytime you do something to an image on your page, you have to make sure you start with the pointer tool. All right, so we're going to focus on this little icon right here. It's looks like the bottom right corner under the bitmap, and it looks like a little stamp. If you stick the mouse right on top of the arrow, click and hold, you'll see this little menu pop up. And we want to select Rubber Stamp Tool. I love the Rubber Stamp Tool. The first thing you'll see is probably that little circle with a line through it symbol, and then when you go over here, it will change. Now, here's what's happening. What you're allowed to do is if you want to make something disappear, we're going to start with this tree right here, and we're going to just see if we could make it disappear. All right, and this is a pretty complicated thing to do here. What we're going to do is we're going to paint. We're going to paint over the tree using the other parts of the image that would go there. So the first thing you have to do is you have to set the cursor over the color that you want to paint over the tree. So see where my mouse is right here, kind of on the, if I'm like right here where it's kind of white, if I imagine that all of this part of the tree right here would be white. So I'm going to click and let go. Now what just happened is you'll see a circle with a crosshair in it. Now watch, I'm going to move the mouse, and my mouse, the circle is moving, but the crosshair is staying the same. And my finger is not on the mouse right now. Now if I click and drag my mouse, it will, or actually I'm going to click and not move it. Just watch if I click, 1, 2, 3, click. See what happened right there? It changed. And now I clicked again. Now I can also click and drag. And you'll see what's happening is I am actually painting over the tree wherever that crosshair is. Now notice how the crosshair is now moving with the mouse. As soon as you click it the first time, it kind of goes with it. So I am slowly painting over the tree and making that image look like it's just the water. But again, the crosshair that you can see there, the crosshair is what is actually being painted. Now look what happened right here. Look where the crosshair is, and you see how these coconuts appeared? That's because the crosshair is over the coconuts. So where the circle is, that's what it painted. So I'm going to have to get rid of that by moving the crosshair. So let me do a little more down here. And the more patient you are with this and the slower you go, the more natural these things will look. Okay, if I want to get rid of that little leaf there, I can. And I want to try to keep the shoreline along with it. So that looks kind of genuine right there, except for the new, I think those are coconuts or whatever. So here's what I'll need to do. I need to now move, reposition where the crosshair is. So I'm going to go back up here. Now my mouse is on the top left, and I'm going to hit select. What that does is that turns off the rubber stamp, and I'm going to go select it again. I'm going to click again, click and hold to get the rubber stamp. Now I'm going to reposition the mouse. I want to get rid of these coconuts first. So maybe I'll click over here, and then I'll go over here and paint over it again, and it'll take care of that part of the tree. And it looks like I created a little miscolored part right there. So again, if I want to move it, go back there, click, go back to the rubber stamp, select it, reposition the crosshair where you want it, and then go back there and change it. Now there's a lot of other things that are happening here. Okay, first of all, if you look down here, size, that can change the size of your cursor. Okay, so I'm going to make it maybe a little bit smaller. Let's make it real small. Let's go down to 10. All right, watch what happens now. If I look out, did you see how small the circle is now on my screen? Okay, now it's going to be painting in a smaller area. Okay, that's useful if you want to zoom in. There's a trick. If you hit Control plus, it'll zoom in. And if you zoom in, you're probably going to want a smaller mouse to do some painting. Okay, if you hit Control minus, it'll zoom back out. And there's different times you might want to zoom in and out of your picture. Okay, the next thing is if you look where it says Edge, if you click on the Edge button down here, right now it's at 100%. That means my edge is a little blurry. If you go back all the way down to 1, you have a really sharp edge in your circle when you paint. And if you go at 50, it's kind of a 50%, kind of in between there. So hopefully that is helpful for you.